This is a breaking story of legitimate and ongoing corruption in the BC government. New evidence has just come to light that the governing NDP in British Columbia are presiding over an extortion racket to enrich their well-connected corporate insider friends. David Evy's BCNDP government runs a program called the CleanBC Communities Fund. Since 2019, the fund has committed over $230 million to businesses who the government thinks will help them reach their goal of, quote, reducing climate-changing emissions by 40% by 2030. Basically, if you own an electric car charging company, you could apply to receive massive amounts of tax dollars from the CleanBC fund. But who decides if you get the money or not? Well, instead of a government agency deciding who receives grant funding, the BCNDP have outsourced the decision-making to the giant corporate consulting firm Myers Norris Penny, or MNP. It's MNP who is running the program and who decides who gets the money. This is where the corruption comes in, and starts with a viral video.
So Edison Motors has never received a single clean tech grant from the BC government, even though we've applied for quite a few.
Merit-based Edison Motors, a startup company building electric semi-trucks, applied to $3 million in grants funding, but the company's proposal was rejected by MNP. When told why they didn't get the grant money, Edison was told their problems were to do with application paperwork. But as explained by Chase Barber, the founder and CEO of Edison Motors, the problem MNP identified in their paperwork wasn't that they missed a tax line or their balance sheet was wrong. No, instead, the problem, according to MNP, was that MNP wasn't hired by Edison Motors to do their paperwork for them.
After this meeting with MNP to discuss why we didn't get the grant, MNP had reached out to us and they set up another meeting to discuss why MNP should be writing our grants. As they stated, it was a 20% success fee of what we win in the grant for them to write our grants. And they strongly encouraged us that, hey, we will be successful if we go with MNP. Well, of course, MNP is deciding government grants. They straight up said that you're going to be a lot more successful if you get the company that's deciding government grants to then write your government grants. And you're going to pay 20% of whatever you win in the government grant back to them.
That's right. MNP, the company running the grants program, told Edison that if they hired MNP to do their grant writing paperwork, they would have been given the grant by MNP. In other words, MNP is extorting 20% of all the grant money they give out. This is genuine corruption laid out for all Canadians to see. But what's the most ironic thing about this story is it's coming from a socialist government. A government that pretends to care about the working class while enriching their big donor corporate insider friends. A government who pretends to care about the environment, while its environmental funding program is actually an extortion ring to line the pockets of their big donor corporate insider friends. A government that wants to run your life and control your business. Meanwhile, the businesses they control and the programs they run are siphoning off 20% kickbacks of taxpayer dollars to their big corporate donor insider friends. Is this really a socialist government? Yes, it is. This is how socialism works. It's a perverted Robin Hood system where you steal from those who produce wealth, the working class, and give to those who are at cocktail parties with David Eby and his ministers, all while gaslighting the public into thinking you're helping them by taxing them into poverty. Now, this is disgusting and hopefully causes David Eby to lose the upcoming fall election. The Conservative Party of BC is gaining serious momentum at the expense of both BC United and the BCNDP. But if it wasn't clear already that the BCNDP need to be kicked out of power as soon as possible, it's certainly clear now. So I urge you, if you live in BC, check out the Conservative Party of BC, do not vote for BC United, and certainly never ever vote for Champagne Socialists.